Welcome, and this time around it will be a very interesting video for everyone who likes microphones. You'll notice that the sound is a bit of different because I don't have a microphone on my collar or somewhere else. I'm just using the internal microphones of the Sony Xperia Pro I, but this time around we want to take a look at this here. And this here is a set of microphones that are accumulated throughout the years, and I want to test out right now to show you which of those mics has the best sound quality. And we will talk a little bit on how I use those mics for filming myself using the smartphone, what kind of equipment I'm using, and what kind of smartphone I will use. So I think let's get started. So first we want to talk about the equipment I will be using for this test, so you know exactly what I'm doing here right now. So first of all, we talk about the smartphone. So I will be using the Honor Magic 4 Ultimate, smartphone that is not out here globally, but that I have here for testing. And this is a great smartphone, but you don't have any 3.5mm headphone jack. So the first thing that we have to do when trying to record something in terms of audio for a smartphone is getting a USB Type-C connector for this particular smartphone. So I have some connectors here, and you can see that this one here is made not for USB-C. This is some adapter for Apple. So if you have an iPhone and you want to use the Lightning adapter, you can see that they also make these 3.5mm headphone adapters for Apple iOS iPhones. And what I will be using is this one here. This is a special one because this one has 3.5mm here, but this one has built in here a DAC, a digital analog converter. So basically like a little mini sound card. So it's not using the internal sound card that the Honor Magic 4 Ultimate has. It has an DAC here on board as well. Some smartphones have it, others don't have it, and they have to rely on the one that is built into those dongles. But we will be using this one here to make it fair and square, because otherwise the smartphone might be like the differentiator. But here we will use the same DAC, and this is a good one that has some nice preamps, and the smartphone itself is boosting the signal as well a little bit with its auto gain control. So we'll have a good setup here for this. So this is the first thing. This one here is a 3.5mm TRRS entry plug. So what we need is then, of course, something that can, for those older microphones, just like here I have a Sony LV1, ECM LV1, which has like a fancy setup. So it's not only pointing upwards. You can see here left, right, and stereo is what it's showing here. So this one has a stereo effect. It has a microphone here and a microphone there to give you a nice surround stereo effect. But this one terminates with 3.5mm, but you see from the rings, that's only 2 rings here, that means that this one here in particular, so this one has only 2 rings, and this means that this one is a TRS cable and this one is a TRS input plugin. So if I plug it in directly, I will not hear anything in terms of audio. So what I have to do is get an adapter. You can get several different adapters. The one that I got here, particularly for the Sony ECM LV1, is this Y adapter. Y adapter because it looks like a Y if I have it like this. And it is here terminated to TRRS. And here we have a TRS microphone input and a TRS headphone input. And the good thing about this one is I can plug the microphone input here into the microphone. Then already I can plug it into the adapter and the adapter into my smartphone. Actually, I have to do it the other way around. First the adapter into the smartphone and then this cable here. Otherwise, it might not detect anything if you don't have any other headphone connected here. So if you have another headphone connected here, if you want to monitor your audio as well, some smartphones offer this feature to monitor stuff, then of course you can also use this for monitoring. Not sure why it's not getting my adapter. Anyway, this one here if I don't have anything connected here, it will just simply set it's empty, and then the chip will not turn anything on. This is why I recommend you to plug in the adapter without the cable first, and then the cable. That will always work if you don't want to have like a monitoring output here as well. So now that we have the necessities out of the way, with the cable at least, so I talked to you about the adapter, about the cable stuff, let's put this away. The only thing that I will leave here, maybe those two things here on the side. What about non-cable ones? First of all, we have like another cable one here, which is also TRS. I can use this one as well directly, but I can also use this one with a wireless microphone. This is why it's lying here. We have also this headphone here. This microphone, actually this one is a little bit broken. This is one I used especially in New Zealand a lot. And it is basically, as you can see, it's not a lavalier microphone. It's basically just like a shotgun mic, a mini shotgun mic for the smartphone. And it has a TRRS already connected, so you can plug it in directly and use it as a shotgun. And has this nice wind filter here. And this should protect also against the wind, so it's very, very nice. I used it in New Zealand for my New Zealand recordings and so on. Pretty good microphone, and I will still use it. I use it most of the time really as a lavalier microphone. So what I put, or lapel microphone, just put this in here, connected this then and clipped it on with this little clipper. And of course I had like a little bit of a cable here, as you can see here, that connects in here, and it's a very, very long cable that I can use to connect. I will try this out as well because it's a Saramonic microphone. It's a very good quality. And talking about Saramonic, they have also this lapel microphone that comes with this Saramonic Blink 500, which is a wireless microphone solution. So this Blink 500 comes with a USB Type-C receiver already directly. So I can just plug it in to the smartphone. It will be powered on. It's blinking now. It will be blinking solid if I have a connection. And I have the transmitter here that already has a microphone on top. And I will test this, of course, but it also has a mic jack here, which is TRS terminated, or a plug, which is TRS terminated. So I can just plug it in there in this hole. Charged via USB-C. This one does not need to be charged because it gets its power via USB-C from the smartphone. And this can be charged as well. And you have some options here as well for pairing or for setting the volume, and here's the on-off button. And yeah, we'll test this out with the internal microphone, but also the microphone using this Saramonic mic here on the side and the input. And maybe I will use it even for the Sony one that I have here, where I can use the wireless one if I want to. There's another wireless solution besides the Saramonic one. I have also a classical one. This is the one from Sony. I also showed it to you already, the ECM W2BT. And this one here comes with this also transmitter and receiver. So the transmitter here has a nice foam on top that can be securely put into the mic jack, the power, what is it called? Power charge jack or something like this, which is actually only the light here. It's the 3.5mm headphone jack where you can also plug in other microphones if you want to. And here I can just plug in this dummy that will just have a nice wind filter for this internal microphone that I have here. And this is pretty cool. Has a nice clip. I can clip it on. I can turn it on. I have some dB meters here. By default, I think I have it on 0 dB. I can go to -10 or -20, depending on how good the ACG is on various different. And this is the receiver. It's a typical receiver, but it has some digital inputs as well because it has a hot shoe here that will work with Sony cameras like the A7 III, I think, or A7 series. And for all the other ones, it has the analog input-output as well. I can use the mic, which would use this mic, but it also has a microphone on the back that can be used as well. Here you can see maybe there's a hole that can be used as well if I turn it to the receiver. Or I can mix it together, which will use both. And then I have like the 3.5 termination output, or the plug for terminating output. Usually this cable comes with it. It's a 3.5 TRS cable, and this will go to your mic input for your camera. But as we have a smartphone now, I cannot put it into the adapter directly because TRS and TRS plug. But what I could do is, of course, use this one here, plug it in, but there's also, it's getting a bit long in terms of cables. There's a better solution. There's a TRS to TRRS cable from Rode in this case. So Rode also has wireless microphones, and they offer this for their wireless microphone system. I can plug it in directly then into the USB Type-C port here, and it will deliver some nice sound quality. So this is more of a wireless setup that is used for cameras especially, but because it has such a good wind filter here, wind muff, and you saw the recessed microphone already, it's very good for wind noises. So if you go outside and want to reduce wind noises, I use it a lot when it comes to this. This one, the transmitter is holding pretty long battery life, but the problem is with the receiver, because it doesn't get power. Like this one here gets power from the smartphone directly, but this one has like an internal battery, and this can run out pretty quickly, and then you are there without any option to record. You have to get some power in, and it is not using USB Type-C. This, for some reason, is using micro USB, which is like a little bit of a bummer, so you cannot just connect it with your smartphone charger or something like this. So this I will be using and testing as well. And yeah, this is basically everything now. Last but not least, when it comes to wireless microphones, I have this Sony headphones here, because you can also use the headphones as wireless microphones. And this one I will try out as well. I tried out as well already, but I want to just compare it for the fun of it, for the sake of it. If you want to use something for quick vlogging, this might be very interesting for you. And now, last but not least, of course, the cheapest solution, probably if you still have this in your box, is using the internal or the included headset. If you ever had an included headset with your smartphone, this here I think was included with some of the Sony Xperia devices, Xperia 1 Mark II, I think. It's the Sony MH750 is a headset, but it also has here a nice little opening for, you can see the opening, the hole for microphone. And of course, this is the cheapest solution because it comes usually with a smartphone. It came with a smartphone. Nowadays, probably there's nothing in your box anymore, Sony. But yeah, you have TRS end here, and you can just plug it into your smartphone. And in this case, I have to use the adapter, and then it can be used as a microphone as well. And I will try this out as well here. And yeah, if you don't have enough in terms of wireless solutions, I have another wireless solution that I have to get off camera, and you probably hear now the Sony microphone internal mics working. This is SabineTech's how's it called? SabineTech's Smart Mic Plus, and this is just a microphone. You can see here, if I take this wind muff off, it also has a 3.5 millimeter jack here for microphones that I can plug in, but it also has internal recording and has one button only. Micro USB charging, which is a bit of a bummer, but it holds its charge longer than this here. And it's a transmitter. Where's the receiver? The receiver is built in your smartphone because it's using Bluetooth for the transmission. So something similar to this here, but with a bit of better quality, because you have to use a special application for this one to work, which is the Smart Mic Plus video app. And this one can also then produce nice little sound. And I have this wind muff because otherwise, if you're outside, it gets too windy. It has some wind filtering as well, but it makes more sense to have like this wind muff on, especially in windy conditions. But we will test it out if this other wind muff here is enough, more than enough for windy situations or semi-windy situations, or if you really need this bigger wind muff when it comes to, or dead cat or dead kitten, like I would like to say, for recording audio. So I think we will switch audio now. We will go a little bit outside. I will take my Honor Magic 4 Ultimate, And then we try out which one has the best mic. If I can get this dead cat onto the smart mic again. So now I'm recording with the Sony Lavalier 1, as you might see here, and it's a bit of windy here outside, so maybe you'll hear some noise, some wind noise. It has some wind noise filtering, just because the mics are a little bit like concave, is it? Yeah. Yeah, this helps against the wind noises. But what do you think about this quality here? It doesn't have left and right channel because the smartphone itself only records in mono audio, which is good for vloggings, for speech in general, but not so good if you want to keep the whole atmosphere. So if you use a lapel or lavalier microphone on your smartphone, what you want to do actually is filter out the whole environment and just concentrate on your voice. So you might hear maybe a bird singing there in the background. You might hear a little bit of wind noise going on, but it should not be in the foreground. The voice, your voice, should be in the foreground. This is why you're using this lavalier microphone. What do you think about the sound quality here of the Sony ECM LV1? So what I'm using now is the Saramonic microphone that is not a lavalier microphone, more of a shotgun microphone, but in the small format. I showed you this earlier. And this one I'm just holding where I hold the smartphone, basically roughly in my direction, and it has the wind muff on, so it has maximum wind filtering capabilities, even though it's not so windy right now as it was before. Talking maybe too soon. Now the wind is getting a little bit here. Yeah, it's getting a little bit windy, but still the wind muff should protect most of the stuff. The thing here about this is it's a very good combination because you don't have a cable hanging around your neck, and you can give it to someone else who just has to hold the microphone in his hands, or if you have like some kind of clip to clip it onto the smartphone, you can do this as well, or yeah, some tape or something like this on the smartphone case. This could work as well. Anyway, this is the quality that you can get in terms of audio, and this one is, because it's not so close to you, it is capturing a little bit more of the ambient sound around you as well. And it has the big disadvantage, if I turn right or left, you will hear me probably not so well as if I'm facing the camera directly. So this is something that you have to keep in mind if you like to face away with your mouth, and the sound will not be taken into account then as much as when recording directly, speaking into the mic. So what do you think about this one here? So, and now I'm using probably one of the easiest solutions, because you only need the microphone plugged into your collar or attach it to your collar and then connect via Bluetooth with the smartphone. And because of the nice lavalier-like microphone quality and the wind muff that comes included, this one is a pretty good device for recording. And even when cars are passing by, you probably won't hear them so much, because this one has also noise filters. If you're interested in this, I made a review about the Smart Mic Plus up there or down in the description. And what do you think about this one here? The only downside is you will notice immediately the colors and maybe the stabilization looks a bit different, because this one here has to use its own app for getting the best sound quality out of it. Otherwise, you will have worse sound quality, if sound quality is possible at all to hear, because not all camera applications can record via Bluetooth. So this is the Bluetooth microphone, Smart Mic Plus. What do you think about this one here? It is filtering out lots and lots of noise around you, and it's very close to your collar, has the wind muff. No issues at all with this one. The only downside is really the camera and its limitations. You cannot use all the cameras. 4K anti-shake is not always working. Lip sync might be an issue on various different smartphones, so you really have to try it out. What do you think about this one here? And also, I have to stop recording using the touch screen, not the volume. So now I'm recording with the Sony LinkBuds, the second microphone recording Bluetooth, using Bluetooth, but it's not using the best quality Bluetooth. It's just using the average quality that you will get for phoning, for telephoning as well. Using the Honor Magic, I gladly can use the video app there, the recording app, for recording also via Bluetooth microphones and headsets and so on. The LinkBuds from Sony have very good audio quality, at least for call quality. And do you think I can get away with this as well for vlogging eventually, or recording something? What you'll notice immediately is that the surrounding sounds are much louder. And I think even the wind noises are also much louder on this one here. And yeah, you will hear a lot of those eventually when it's really windy. So not the best location, not the best situation for a bad location. Just like, for example, in a city here, if you're running around, you want to hear maybe the cool noises about birds chirping in the background, making some noise there. But if you are in the city and you have all the surrounding sounds, it might be a little bit annoying. And sadly, you cannot filter this out so easily, at least not with the default camera application on the Honor Magic. And sadly, I did not find any other that can do this good filtering out of this one. So what do you think about this one here? For me, it's only a solution really in real bad situations. Otherwise, I would just use the internal microphone, which might sound better even. Talking about the internal microphone, now you hear the internal microphones of the Honor Magic 4 Ultimate. It depends, of course, on the smartphone that you're using, but this one has good internal microphones. The Sony also, as you heard at the beginning, also has good internal microphones. Some of them have a microphone array not only on the sides, but also on the back, so that you can use it for vlogging with the back-facing camera as well, just like I'm doing here right now. And wind filtering, Sony is a little bit better, I think, here than the Magic 4 Ultimate, but it's not as bad as you might expect it. It has some wind filter as well enabled. Of course, if the wind is too strong, then you will still hear some problems. You will still hear some difficulties. Now I'm like twisting around, maybe hear some wind noises. Otherwise, this is the internal mic of the Magic 4 Ultimate, and yeah, it's picking up surround sound, basically everything around me, but focusing a bit on my voice, I think. And what do you think about this microphone quality? So, and now probably the easiest solution when it comes to wireless microphones, the Saramonic Blink 500, which has a USB receiver and a normal transmitter that holds its charge pretty long. And this one is also lavalier one. You can plug in other microphones. I will do it in a second. But this is the exposed microphone. I think it's pretty much exposed. It doesn't have a concave, but more like a convex kind of shape. So wind noises might be heard a little bit more, as there's no option to put a wind filter on top, just like the other one would be like wrap something around it or stick on it. Otherwise, you don't have any wind filter on this one, which is a bit of like a problem. This is why I'm not using it so much. But we will see if this is a bit better with the included lavalier microphone that has like a little bit of a pop filter, I would call it. So a little bit of a foam filter. Does it help against the wind? We will see. What do you think about this one here, which might be the easiest solution right now? So, and this is the second easiest solution as a wireless microphone. No, I don't really know. I have so many easy solutions. This is the one with the lavalier microphone from Saramonic as well. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. It's just like I bought their stuff. Anyway, so you heard this probably because it was too loud. What about the wind noise and wind filter? Of course, there's no wind right now, but maybe there will be a little bit of wind coming, and then we will see how this will work out. Anyway, this is the Saramonic lavalier microphone plugged into the Blink 500 transmitter. And how does this look like? How does it look like is a good saying here. How does it, what's the sound quality here on this one? Now a little bit of wind is going on. Let's put myself into the wind. Do you hear anything here? I think that Honor may be filtering out a little bit of wind as well, some noises there that it thinks it should filter out, so this might help sometimes as well. So what do you think about this one here? I think it's also very convenient, but not as convenient as just having a microphone here, because you have to have like another cable there plugged in somewhere, and this might be like a little bit of a troublesome setup. At least it's like borderline where I say it's usable for a quick shoot here and there. But if you have wind, maybe this might be the better solution. What do you think? So, and now another solution, which is the Sony microphone, and this is a wireless solution I don't like so much because I have so much cable dangling around. This is the cable with the receiver here. The transmitter is pretty cool, and I think this one has also the best sound quality, and with its wind muff, I really used to go to the Rhine, to the river, where there's super a lot of wind going on, super wind noises usually to capture there. But it didn't have a problem at all because of its concave shape of the microphone itself, and then on top the wind muff filtering out all wind noises. Yeah, it's one of the best. But the receiver is the issue, because this receiver also doesn't hold charge so much. So after like 1 day of recording, a few hours, you can just simply forget about it. You have to charge it again. The transmitter is a bit better. It holds its charge for several recordings, but in general you have to charge. And the cool thing about this one is you can also plug in a microphone like the Sony LV1 that I had, and you get the good noise and voice quality here. But yeah, in general this one is a very good microphone. If it would have USB-C, if it would have a bit of a bigger battery, or Sony, if you're listening, just create some kind of USB-C dongle for the smartphone maybe, or allow the Sony Xperia devices directly to talk to this transmitter via Bluetooth or whatever you're using there. Would be a very cool option if you would do such a thing. Otherwise, yeah, what do you think about this one here, recording with the Sony ECM W2BT setup? And now I don't have any microphone. It's just because I'm using the cool thing about the Sony ECM W2BT is that you can also use the receiver's microphone, which is a concave microphone again, and it's a microphone that should pick up my sound also okay as some kind of shotgun mic. You can use it like this, but as I said, the battery life is not the best, so usually the receiver is the one who's running out of power, and it's not the transmitter that I have there. So what do you think about this audio quality as a solution for a problem that probably will never come to you? But yeah, what do you think about this one here? Also in terms of wind noise, does it have any wind noise? If I turn around here, there's a little bit of wind coming from the side, from the back now. I don't think so. So what do you think about this solution here? I think Sony has a compelling argument for this one. If it would have better battery life and it would be easier to handle with a smartphone, this would be one of the best, definitely. Last but not least, at least a few years ago it was this case, if you have a headset that includes or is included into your smartphone purchase, then you will get a microphone also with it, and you can attach it to your USB Type-C dongle or your microphone input of your smartphone. And this is the sound quality with the Sony MH750s. They usually have good sound quality when it comes to this. I have like a little bit of needle there that holds the microphone a little bit, so you don't hear so much rattling noise. Otherwise, when you move around a little bit too much with your hands, just like I tend to do, then you get some moving noises here, rattling sounds of the microphone itself or the cable of the microphone. But what do you think about this sound quality here using the Sony MH750s? I think this one, as an emergency situation or as a start, if you don't want to buy those more expensive microphones, might be good. But you might hear now some wind noises because it's now getting a bit windy. It has only a hole in there. It's not really like a concave kind of anti-wind filter going on. So you have to live maybe with a bit of wind noises going on there, and occasional rattings with the cable that might disturb stuff. And also it's not so good in filtering out noises around you. So the car that was passing by right now, you probably heard as well. But what do you think about this solution? I think I started with the solution, and I think the solution is working as well. And if you want to start with smartphone vlogging and so on, this might be the easiest start right now because you have your headset already. So what do you think about this solution, about all the solutions that I showed you right now? Write it down in the comment section. That's everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, bye.